Hey Insiders, I'm Andrea, and welcome back in the room. This space is for those of us who are looking for a reset without judgment and a space where we take a deep dive into conversations that actually shift how we think and how we navigate life. But one thing we don't do here in the room is stay stuck. That's right. We acknowledge it, we learn from it, and we are moving right along. So if that's something that you're looking for, take a seat, take up space, and let's move. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt like you made yourself smaller? You lowered your voice, you started questioning all of your ideas, you became overly quiet, or you wait to be invited to actually speak? And none of that was because you lacked confidence, but because somewhere along the way, you began to confuse presence with permission. In today's conversation, we talk about why do people feel the need to shrink in rooms and how we can stop the cycle. So let's first unpack why we feel the need to shrink. Shrinking usually doesn't come from incompetence. It often comes from conditioning. Let's think about that for a minute. So in sports, conditioning means training your body to handle the physical demands of competition. It focuses on improving fitness, stamina, recovery, and performance capacity, not just skill. Maybe you were raised or conditioned to be humble in ways that became silence. Maybe you were overlooked so often that invisibility became a normal. Maybe you entered environments where confidence in others was rewarded, but confidence in you was questioned. Psychology often refers to related patterns through concepts, and I'll give you a couple and list the definition of each: self efficacy, stereotype theory, social anxiety, imposter syndrome or imposter feelings, and learned helplessness. So when people repeatedly receive cues that they are not expected to lead, speak, or excel, many adapt by minimizing themselves. That adaptation may have protected you once, but now it may be limiting you. So, what does shrinking really look like in real life? It doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like saying, "This may be dumb, but," before sharing ideas, or over explaining simple statements. Maybe it's apologizing constantly, dressing beneath your confidence level, staying quiet when you know the answer, accepting disrespect to avoid tension, or acting surprised when praised. That is not humility. That is self erasure. Self erasure is the pattern of minimizing, suppressing, or even abandoning your own needs, identities, or feelings to avoid conflict or to fit expectations. And the cost is high. Rooms make decisions. And when you disappear in rooms, opportunities often disappear. So let's deep dive into the psychological aspects. There's this famous psychologist by the name of Bandura, and his work on self-efficacy found that people's belief in their ability influences performance, persistence, and willingness to act. Well, what does that mean? If you doubt your right to contribute, you often contribute less, even when you're most competent. Research in organizational behavior also shows confidence signals influence how others perceive leadership potential. This does not mean fake confidence. It means that people often respond to behavioral cues: posture, clarity, calmness, decisiveness, eye contact, concise speech. Sometimes a room isn't evaluating your intelligence first, it's reading your signals first. But what can we do to eliminate the need to feel like shrinking? Let's come up with some strategic behaviors to help us move past this. So, the first strategic move: replace permission with preparation. Stop waiting to feel chosen. Prepare so well that confidence becomes evidence based. That means before meetings, you should know your talking points, anticipate questions, bring one useful insight, and speak early, because prepared people rely less on courage. Strategic move number two: remove diminishing language. Delete phrases right now from your vocabulary and let's replace that with phrases like my perspective is, I recommend, based on the data, one option is, remember, language trains identity. Strategic move number 3, take up calm space. Confidence is often quieter than insecurity. So that means you need to start practicing things like slower speech, pausing before answering, shoulders open, grounded breathing, or even direct sentences. Because you do not need to perform importance. You need to embody steadiness. So if you're planning on applying those strategic moves in your week, comment below the word move. I want to see those of us who are making the change this week. So now you have the strategic moves. And if you're still nervous, that's okay. Being nervous does not mean you don't belong. It means you care. Many capable people feel activated in high-stake spaces. The goal is not zero nerves. The goal is functioning while nervous, because courage is often regulated discomfort. So here's what I gather. Some of you have mistaken shrinking for safety, but smaller is not safer when it comes to your future. Your experiences may explain the behavior, but they do not have to define the next chapter. Lift your chin, slow your breathing, speak with clarity, and remember your value. You are not an intruder. You are an asset. So if this conversation hit home for you today and you are ready to stop shrinking yourself to make others feel large, comment down below the word stopping. I'm interested in seeing those of us who are shifting our mindset. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I want to see you in the next conversation so that we can keep building that best version of you. Remember, there's never a question about whether or not you belong in this room. Keep taking up space, and I'll see you in the next conversation. Let's move.